Street Talk with your host Reggie B. Come on, let's all join in. Free your voice, it's your choice, alright here. Oh, simply straight talk.
Now this is what I love to see. People having fun, good music. Look, everyone is just enjoying life to the fullest.
Exactly. And it's moments like this that makes the world feel like it's just so peaceful and filled with unity.
And with everything going on today, we definitely need to spread some positive vibes of peace and unity in this world.
Oh, please, don't get me started on that.
Oh, believe me, I have no intention of doing that at all.
Hey, young woman, you better behave now.
Whatever.
Oh, you know what? I meant to ask you if Evie and Gary are going to have a booth here this year. Maybe we can stop by and show them some support.
I spoke to Mary yesterday, and unfortunately, they are not doing so well right now.
Wow, are you serious?
Very serious. We met a couple of times for drinks, and she told me that she accepted a lot of things about him that she didn't really like.
Okay, see, I did not know all that was going on because he never said anything to me about it.
Yeah, I basically told her that she was settling for love, just to have comfort and convenience, which could cause serious problems in her future.
Actually, I'm really bothered by people who do that because it's like they don't realize the negative impact that it can have on their life.
Hold on. You said you're bothered by it?
Yes, absolutely.
You do realize that some people are very good at recognizing problems with other people's relationships, but fail to acknowledge their own.
Yo, hold up now. So you're accusing me, Reggie, of settling in relationships?
No, I'm not accusing you. Actually, I'm telling you that you are.
Oh, okay, relationship doctor. Tell me one time, and with who did I settle with in any relationship that I've been in?
Let me think. Can I name someone you settled with? Lisa, who was a smoker and a stripper, but you said, oh, she just needs a good man, despite the fact that you don't like cigarette smoke and you hate the strip club. And her motto was, I'm gonna be a stripper for life.
Okay, come on, but that was just one.
And then there was Sandy, Miss Rude and Lazy.
I mean, she wasn't that bad.
Be for real, she insulted every server at any restaurant if she didn't get served first. But what really got me was how lazy she was about everything. Not working, not cleaning. She doesn't drive. She refuses to cook. Shall I go on? Think about it. You deserve so much better than her.
All right, maybe you got a point. Maybe I did kind of dodge a bullet with that one. Anyway, you got to admit now, you got to give me credit because I turned things around regarding my dating.
So you turned things around. Oh my goodness. I had to catch my breath on this one.
Please, I don't play that.
So you don't play that? Well, let me rewind the tape back to the day we were at the museum with your now ex, Lana.
Oh, so now you want to take it back to fruitcake platter. We going back to fruitcake platter right now with this conversation.
Thank goodness that ended. I told you from day one, she was delusional and crazy. But did you listen to me? No. You said, it's okay, I can tame that. She about drove you crazy and then accused me of being with you.
Man, I got to do better.
Yes, you do. Hold up. Is there anybody coming to this festival that I need to know about?
Like who?
I don't know. Somebody who just landed from Mars or just got off Flight 101 from Crazyville.
No. Come on, let's just enjoy the festival.
I had to check the Looney Tunes itinerary with you.
See, you tripping right now. Come on, let's go.
Talking about Christ, spreading love in here. Let's take you on a journey, let's vibe and learn. Cause life is a highway full of twists and turns. Let's go. Yeah, a speaker and a writer, a vessel for a message. Let him revitalize you. It's time to tune in, this here's so fire. Empower your voice to inspire. Yeah, R.M.B.I.G.
Welcome to the Simply Straight Talk Show with your host, Reggie, keeping it real with discussions on this thing we call life.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Simply Straight Talk Show. This is your host, Reggie Maddox, man, and today we got a topic for you. We're going to talk about something that we've all been through. Today, we are talking about settling for love. That's right. What happens when you settle for love? Why do you end up settling in love? Now, when I say settling for love, I'm talking about someone who is not in a relationship. Now, I do realize that sometimes we get into relationships and we settle for things. But today's topic specifically is going to revolve around you not being in a relationship, but then you begin to drop your standards just to be loved or to be in a relationship. Now, whether or not we want to admit it, we've all settled in life in some aspect, okay? You know, we do it with our jobs. We do it with our friends. And in today's case, we're going to talk about what happens when we do it trying to get into a relationship. Now, when we settle in relationships, we're putting our interest in quantity over quality. And in doing this, you know, you're denying yourself the right to be happy. You're denying yourself to meet somebody who's truly going to be beneficial to you and somebody that you can overall throughout time continue to look at with respect, and you want to build something with that person instead of you just tolerating that person. You are really denying yourself real happiness when you just settle for love and drop your standards just to be loved. Now, it may not feel like you're doing anything bad, because you might feel like, listen, you know, by doing this, you know, both people get to be in a relationship. But it's also unfair because you now have these expectations inside of you, you know, of these standards and these traits that you expect somebody to be in your life to have. But you sort of threw those one or two things away, but they really do matter to you. But you sort of put them aside just so you can be in a relationship and feel loved, or maybe that person did it so they can be in a relationship. Now, the thing about it is this. For many, you know, it can feel easier to just suck things up and hope that person will change rather than create drama. Because one thing none of us want in our relationship is drama. Nobody wants to feel like they're coming home to drama. You know what I'm saying? Especially if everything just seems to be going okay. And you know, you feel it inside that things are bothering you, but you don't want to say anything. But are you willing to admit that you knew that this person did not have these qualities or traits that you wanted, and you lowered your standard to get into the relationship, and now you're at the point to where you just can't take it? But on the flip side of that, sometimes you just need to rock the boat because it's just reached that point. Yes, you did settle to be into a relationship with this person. You lowered your standard. You lowered your, you know, what your expectations were to be in a relationship. But now it's come to a boil. And sometimes, you know, in a relationship that's either the relationship is like totally bringing you down or just making you feel like crap. You may just get to the point where you just turn the boat over. I'm going to flip this sucker over. I don't give a damn. I'm done. I'm out. I don't want to deal with this no more. I can't take it. And people feel like that after a while. Now, you're not doing yourself or the other person any favors when you settle in a relationship. If anything, you're just setting yourself up to be miserable. Even if we're not miserable at the moment or in the beginning, you know, it's almost safe to say, you know, you're just prolonging the inevitable because it's coming. It's coming. And that's one of the things when you do have beliefs, you do have things that you feel should be a part of a relationship, and all of that is sort of put aside because, you know, you want to be with somebody. You want to be in a relationship. You want to share moments with somebody, but you're sharing it with somebody who you probably really don't want to be with. I mean, they may have the looks, but they don't have the qualities or traits. So therefore, you're now living in a relationship that's quickly becoming a lie. And that lie is beginning to surface. And you know how it is when people realize that they've been lied to, or when they realize that, they're living a lie, it blows up. And I think that's what's going to happen. And that's what takes place when people get into relationships in regards to them just settling for the relationship. So now we have to move on to the next thing. So let's dig a little deeper into this, because one of the things we really want to look at is, so what makes people settle for love? What is it that makes you say, you know what? Maybe I don't need to have this standard. And before I get it, I want you to realize something. I do understand. Sometimes people have unrealistic standards. But I'm talking about when you have standards that are realistic. You have standards that, you're not asking. Only thing you're asking is, maybe that person is a smoker. You know what I'm saying? But you don't like smoking, but all of a sudden you lower your standards to go with somebody that smokes. Maybe you don't like people that drink a lot. Maybe this person drinks, maybe they're not a total alcoholic, but they always got to have a drink. Maybe you're the type of person that believes that, you know what? I believe in God, like to go to church every Sunday. This person, they sort of believe in God, but they don't go to church at all. But you figure, well, if I love them enough, they'll do it. You know what I'm saying? If there's different things in different ways you can lower your standard. And these are some of the things that people do. You know what I'm saying? So when I say lower their standard, you're dropping things that you believe and you feel it's important to you. So now back to the question I asked a few minutes ago. I felt like I need to clear that up a little bit. Is what makes people settle for love? Now, I'm going to speak from somebody from a personal opinion, okay? Because I believe that when you've been single and alone for a long period of time, you kind of start to feel like, wow, everything starts to look a little better to you because nobody's flirting with you. You're not being hit on. You're not going on any dates because I talked about this. So this is no secret. I've been single for a long time. So even I had to catch myself sometime because, you start to feel like, man, I would really love somebody I can hang out with, somebody to go to the movies with, because I love going to the movies. But it'd be nice to have somebody that I can go to the movies with and we can sit next to each other and we can talk and laugh and watch. And I told you, like, I like to watch that show, 90 Day Fiance? And they got this new thing now where they got couples who used to be on the show who are still together, sit down and watch the TV show together and they talk about it. Stuff like that makes you think like, man, I wish I could have that. But when you've been single for a long time and you've been alone, you begin to lower your standards. You begin to feel like, wow, okay, she smokes, but it's okay. You start looking at things that normally you would not look at. You start considering options for a relationship that normally you wouldn't consider. And it's because you have been by yourself so long. You've come into a state of where now you're just every day lowering the bar on what you accept in a relationship because the idea of being in a relationship now sounds better. It's more appeasing to you and you start lowering your qualities. Okay. Next. Ashamed or embarrassed about your body. I think this is something that a lot of people go through. You might be dealing with a physical disability. It could be that you're overweight. You may not be comfortable with your looks. The way your body is built. For a woman, your breast may not be big enough. Your butt, maybe you feel like your butt is too small or too big. For some men, same thing. Men may be overweight. Some men may be insecure about their penis size. So there's different things that can make a person feel ashamed about their body and how another person will feel about their body. So instead of them feeling comfortable to where they can be comfortable in who they are as a person and actually trying to, say, hey, if this woman, she's intelligent, she's educated, she works, she's a good person, but she'll not want to be with me because look at my body. Look at the way I look. Look at that, look at that guy, he's the pretty boy type. She'll definitely take him over me. So there are things about your body. Sometimes they are embarrassed or ashamed of their body to where they feel like they have to lower their expectations, lower their class of people in order to be in a relationship. So they put up with a lot more, which you're beautiful. Remember that. The next thing that makes people settle for love is their financial situation, their financial or life situation, their job, their living situation. And this is very common because you could be a really good person working hard. You might be making $40,000 or $50,000 a year. But because here's one thing I want to say. I might need to do a show on this. There is a difference between men and women. If a woman who is making $100,000 a year or $200,000 a year dates a man who is making $40,000 or $50,000 a year, she's stepping down. And if a man, you know what I'm saying, she's stepping down. But if a woman dates a man who's making $100,000 or $200,000 a year, she's leveling up. So for a man, he may feel like, wow, I like her. He's a genuinely good guy. He will actually be probably a better mate for her. He's going to be supportive. He's going to be encouraged. He doesn't want her money. He wants her love. But because he only makes a small amount of money compared to her, he may feel like, I'm out of my league. She won't be interested in me. I can't give her the things she wants. She might live in a house. He might live in a small apartment. You know what I'm saying? It can be the same thing for a woman. She could be like, listen, I live in a small apartment. This guy lives in this big house. But like I say, it's sort of a double standard with that, because with guys, it's okay. Because for a woman, it's leveling up. And for a man, it's the opposite. So it's kind of tough. But still, even women can feel insecure about their living situation, their finances. I'm not trying to say that they don't, so please don't take it that way. But a woman or a man can feel insecure about their living or their financial situation. They can feel like, I'm not making enough money, or maybe my job. You can have a woman who's a great woman, but she might be a cashier at a grocery store. She might be a Kroger store manager. Her job title may not be all, the flash and, highlights of some high executive position, but this is a good woman. But this woman is having to maybe have some insecurities about her job. You know what I'm saying? So she's got some insecurities about it. And your living situation, your finances, how much money you make, where you live, your job. So you might feel a little intimidated. You might be a little bit embarrassed or insecure about that part of your life, which makes it difficult for you to actually go out and meet people because you are ashamed. So you drop your standards. You lower your standards thinking that, okay, I can only date somebody who's, less than me. That's the only way I can find somebody, because nobody who's actually better is going to want to be with me. That's not the right mindset to have. The next thing is, what makes people settle is a person who's been in multiple marriages, or a person who's single with kids or a lot of kids. And I hear this a lot. I really hear this a lot, because once you say that you've been married, like 2 or more times, sometimes for some people, if you've been married once, it's a no. But if you've been married 2 or more times, some people see that as a red flag. And I don't really agree with that, because a person can, they could have got married at one point, then they could have got married again. If they stopped at a certain point, like, hey, you know what? There's always a story behind the story. So, but a person who's had multiple marriages, or a person who has a lot of kids, may feel like, even though they want that type of person who they feel can come in their life and be beneficial, they may actually drop their expectations for the fact that, okay, I've been married 3 times, so I can only meet somebody who's been married 3 times or less, because nobody else is going to understand. A person whose everyday life, who has a good life and maybe hasn't been married, or maybe only been married once, they're not going to understand that I was married 3 times. I realized I made mistakes, but I stopped. I didn't want to go through it anymore until I knew it was right the next time. And the same thing with a woman with kids. You can have a woman who, She may have multiple kids, but it doesn't mean that she's a bad woman. Some people realize like, wow, okay, I need to stop. That's it. I've got too many kids, or I've had these kids and I was young, or whatever the reason may be. But sometimes people don't understand that. People look at a situation from the outside and already make assumptions about everything that went on. Oh, that person has more than one marriage. So, they just want to get married so somebody can take care of them. That person has a lot of kids. Oh, they're loose, or they're just somebody running around. No, you need to understand what's going on. And sometimes because that happens, people who do have multiple marriages, who do have, more kids, one or more kids, they start to feel like they got to meet somebody who is not really up to their standard. You know what I mean? So they lower the bar, which is really dangerous, especially if you got kids, bringing somebody in who's below the standard that you need. But I understand that we all want to feel like we need love, like we need somebody to be in our life. That's how we're built. And it makes a difference when you wake up with somebody next to you. It makes a difference when you wake up in the morning and somebody's there to encourage you, to call you throughout the day, to speak love and happiness and peace, to pray for you when you're not there and pray with you. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it should be about. But when you settle and you don't get those things, then we got a problem. Hey, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with more of the Simply Straight Talk Show.
We'll be back with your host, Reggie, on Simply Straight Talk.
RM Viaging is a company based on life's journey and sharing life lessons with the world in the form of laughter and reflection, inspiring people to go after their dreams and not giving up on life. RM Viaging creates inspirational music and motivational speeches designed to motivate all age groups. Visit our website at www.rmviaging.com to hear samples of our music. You will also find motivational articles on our blog page titled New Life, New Mind Blog. We also have a weekly podcast hosted by Reggie called Simply Straight Talk, all on our website at www.rmviaging.com.
You're listening to Simply Straight Talk.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the second half of the show. Man, today we're talking about settling for love. That's right, settling for love. Now, I know everybody out there has been through something, and it's just the fact that some people just got it. You know what I'm saying? It's like people chase them. It doesn't matter. Everybody's going to go after them. But, there's some of us, who don't have it like that. Well, we don't have people chasing us. Well, we can't just walk out the door and somebody want to throw a phone number. But doesn't mean that we should settle. I mean, should we really drop our standards of what we feel would make a good mate for us? And I'm talking about realistic standards, not unrealistic, realistic standards of what we feel it would take to have somebody in our life. Should we just accept somebody, just because they're available or they seem interested, but yet they're not a good fit for us long term? They're really not a good fit. So should you drop your standards to accept somebody who's only temporarily good or really not good for you at all? Because really and truthfully, it's just a matter of convenience and comfort for the moment. Because the stuff that you're giving away and saying, I'm not going to worry about it right now, is going to come back in the picture later. And it's just going to make the situation worse for you because now you got to get out of something that you shouldn't have been in the first place. So what we want to do right now, let's talk about what can we do to change our mindset to the point to where we don't settle, where we don't start settling for anybody that just comes along. Because that's basically what happened. You've been alone. You're single. Nobody's hitting on you. You're not getting any good numbers. You're not having any luck. You're spending holidays alone. You're spending time alone. What can you do to fix your life so that you're not settling and just giving up everything about yourself? Here's where we can start. Here's a few tips of some of the things that we can do to really kind of help ourselves, to kind of make our lives better so that we are making the right choices and the right decisions. First, I think you should make a realistic list. Now, hear what I said, a realistic list of your standards. Okay. Now, although I'm talking about relationships and love, you can also do this for friends, the job as well. But for right now, I'm talking about make a realistic list of what type of person you need. What are the qualities and traits that you feel the person you need in your life should have? Now, when I say realistic, I mean be realistic. You know what I'm saying? If you're looking for a non-smoker, non-drinker, if you're looking for somebody who's active in the community, somebody who's in the cultural arts, who shares common interests, make a list accurate to that. Don't say they need to make $2 million a year. They need to have a bank account with this. You know what I'm saying? Don't, because if you start doing that, then you're getting unrealistic because you're shortening your pool down of people that make $2 million a year. Come on now, be realistic and know your worth as well, because you may not be worth that. But anyway, I'm just playing with that last part. But anyway, seriously, make a realistic list of what your standards are. Second, and I think this is the most important of the things I'm going to tell you right now. Determine the reasons why you decided to settle in love in the first place. What is it that made you decide that I'm going to settle for this type person? What is it? What happened? Was it the fact that you was alone too long? You've been single too long? Was it the holiday period? You guys have heard me talk about the holidays. I really believe that starting from November to February 16th is a period in which a lot of people start to feel single, alone, and empty, and they don't know what to do. They don't know how to act because they are not in a relationship and they're not getting that whole holiday love vibe. Even though they might be getting the family vibe and the friend vibe, but still that loving relationship is not there. So was it that time of the year that made you just decide that, listen, I'm going to lower my standards right now, and hopefully it works out that even after the holidays, this relationship works. So what is it about you that made you decide that you needed to lower your standards? You need to drop down and just accept whatever comes your way. You need to figure that out. I mean, that's first and foremost. Why are you dropping your standards? What are the reasons that you are dropping your standards? Are you the type of person that sit at home all day and doesn't go out, but then can't understand why you don't meet nobody? Why nobody don't knock on your door and say, hey, it's me. I know you've been waiting on me. I just had to look your address up, but I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Are you that type of person that doesn't put yourself out there? And when I say put yourself out there, it doesn't mean that you're out there sexually. You're just not going to environments to where you can actually meet new people. You're expecting somebody just to walk up to you with a note and a bag of money and say, hey, I'm this rich guy or this rich woman. I'm here to make your life easier and make you feel loved. Here I am. Not going to happen, people. Okay. So determine the reason why you're doing this. Are you still dealing with an old relationship? Are you still dealing with past emotions? Are you making yourself unlovable? Are you approachable? You need to figure these things out. Is it your weight? You know what I'm saying? Do you not like the way your weight is? Then you know what? You need to start going out and working out, getting in shape. Do something about it. Now, I mentioned before how people feel like, oh, they don't like their looks. I don't believe that plastic surgery and all that stuff is the answer because it doesn't change who you are on the inside. Now, I understand that plastic surgery is necessary for some people, but I don't think plastic surgery is necessary for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Plastic surgery should not be an excuse for you to say, oh, I'm beautiful, I'm going to meet more people now. A bigger booty does not make you a better person. You know what I'm saying? Bigger lips does not make you a better person. And gosh, sometimes that looks disgusting. Okay, but anyway, but think about that. What is the reason you decided in the first place that you needed to lower your standards? Okay, because you need to address that issue. You need to address that. And you know the reason, but you need to figure out why you decided that I have to lower my standards to be with somebody. Okay. Next, make an effort to change. Okay. And I mentioned just a few minutes ago, if you feel like you're overweight, then make an effort to work out and get back in shape. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like your finances are not where they want to be or not good enough to be in a relationship because you feel like you might be a strain, then work on improving your finances, creating a savings account, work on getting a better job, doing what you can to move up in your career to where you can make more money. If your living situation is not what you want, I know right now it is very tough. I know in states up north, like in Maryland, New York, places like that, a lot of people actually roommate together. If you feel like that's a challenge for you actually to meet somebody because they don't understand, like a lot of people, if you haven't lived up north, you don't understand that the cost of living is extremely high. I don't know why. It makes absolutely no sense. I've asked some people that say, oh, because we're close to DC. Okay, whatever. But anyway, the point is, make an effort to figure out that if you're not comfortable with your living situation, if you're not comfortable, with your weight, your finances, make an effort to improve it. Make an effort to make it better. You know what I'm saying? Figure out how you can change your situation in order to make it better for you. So you'll feel more confident in your situation that you can meet somebody. Now, everybody's not going to judge you. Some people are going to be responsible and understand that, like, hey, they're not a bad person. This is what they're doing. If they see you're moving towards something more productive, you know what I'm saying? So work on that and don't just feel like you have to stay where you are or downgrade just so somebody can accept where you are right now. Next, you need to find positive people who meet your standards or are above to hang out with. And I think that's the biggest thing. A lot of us have friends or we have associates that are not at our standards. They're below our standards. So we feel like we have to actually hang out with them. We feel like we have to actually be at their level. Don't be afraid to adjust your friends and, people that you hang out with that's going to challenge you. People that's going to be more positive, more inspiring, people that's going to actually lift you up. Because you need people that are actually doing good. Because when you're around people that have a mindset of success, you're around people that have a mindset of being better and improving themselves, that's going to rub off on you. But if you're dating somebody that pretty much just likes to, stay, I'm not dating, but if you're hanging around people that are just comfortable with the everyday life, they're happy making $10 an hour. They don't want to go higher. They're happy going through the club, doing the same thing every week after week and not progressing in life. Because when you one of the biggest issues I have is when you work with people who don't challenge you, you're going to find that you don't have anything in common other than talking about problems at work. And I've been in situations like that. I am in situations like that where you work with people who don't challenge you. You need to find people who are going to challenge you and stimulate you mentally. That's going to help improve your confidence. That's going to help lift you up and put you inside a group of people that's more motivational, that's more inspiring. You need to upgrade your friends' problem, upgrade your situation. You know who's good for you in your life and who's not. You know who you talk to and you're like, God, I want to have this conversation, versus somebody who would make you say, wow, I really hope this person here would love to talk to them. People who give you world views and not just the block views. All right, everybody, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back for more of the Simply Straight Talk Show.
Don't even think about it. We got more straight talk just for you.
Hello, Simply Straight Talk family. If you are enjoying this episode, at the end of the show, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. And why not share this with a friend? Also, visit our blog at newlifenewmind.com, where you can find additional articles on more great topics. Stay tuned. The show will continue right after this message.
Are you ready for the straight truth? Reggie, what's the final word for today?
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the final thoughts of today's show. Man, listen, when it comes to settling for love, and let me talk to you from a personal experience right now, because I really want this to connect with anybody who can relate to it, or somebody who's even considering that they need to drop their standards and settle for love. And I'll be the first to admit, I've done this on multiple occasions. And a lot of it does deal with some form of insecurity you have, either about your looks, your weight, which could be classified as your looks, your financial situation, your living situation. When these things happen, it's easy to get in a mindset of, I'm not good enough. I don't look good enough. I don't have the money. You know what I'm saying? Or they appear to be at a higher class than me. They're making more money for me. They'll never settle for me. They'll never want to be with somebody like me. Oh, I got too many kids. I've been married twice or 3 times, or, I made mistakes, and these mistakes are still a part of my past that I have to share with somebody, and nobody who's, worthy is going to want to be with me. And that's totally not true. We've all made mistakes. We've all done things that we probably wish we wouldn't have done. We make decisions about our lives. There are things about us that maybe we're not happy about. But it doesn't mean that you need to lower your standards and settle for somebody who's going to take you down a road that's going to bring you unhappiness, that's going to make you miserable, to where you're sitting with that person, looking at them every day thinking, why am I with you? I can't stand cigarette smoke, but you smoke in the house. Why am I with you? I can't stand someone who curses all the time. Why am I with you? I can't stand somebody who's unable to hold an intelligent conversation. Why am I with you? Because mentally you bore me and you don't stimulate me. Why am I with you? And many of us go through that. And some of us who may not have the best credit, we may not have the best finances, our weight may not be where it needs to be, and we may not be that, slim, muscular, or that, woman that's got the Coke bottle figure. So we feel like we're unworthy of meeting somebody that's better, or who we feel really should be with us. So we lower our standards and settle for people who truly are not good for us. Make a list and determine, what is it that you are looking for? What qualities do you really want in a person? And you stand by that list. And, take advice of some of the things I said. Put yourself in different environments. If you're a person that likes cultural things and you like talking about the things that go on in the world, you like somebody who intellectually challenges you, start getting yourself in environments like that. Start going to cultural events. Start going to, groups and organizations that have that type of conversations. At least I can't guarantee that everybody you meet is going to be a good person. But the more you put yourself in the environment regarding the list of qualities and traits you're looking for, the better opportunity you're going to have of meeting somebody that's going to be good for you. So don't lower your standards. Don't bring misery and unhappiness into your life that you don't need to bring, that doesn't need to be there. Don't settle. Learn to understand that you are a wonderful and beautiful person, and love yourself. Hey, that's it for today's show, man. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you join us next week for more of the Simply Straight Talk Show.
You've reached the end of another episode of the Simply Straight Talk Show. Connect with us at Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Don't forget to sign up to our newsletter and check out the New Life, New Mind blog at newlifenewmind.com. See you at the next episode.